it.
I haven't seen anything.
Is it started yet? It's probably, I mean, it's recording now, but hello. It is, I don't know, YouTube takes like a second to get set up.
Mine says it's waiting.
Yeah, I think it's on.
Oh, there we go.
In there now?
It looks like it.
Is it a little bit more delayed? Well, I'm gonna moisturize my hands.
Oh, what is this? Salon James Burke.
Yeah, this is my spa day.
Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Welcome
This is
to the
Eric, by the
salon.
way. This is Disney Cruise Line H2O Plus Beauty Sea Salt Body Lotion.
Hello, everyone.
I use this for my hands and my feet.
Postal Orphan says, "Squee, I caught you live this time from the start."
Yes, from the start. Actually, we've slightly changed plans. I'm going to be on here. This may change also, but I'm going to be on here for half an hour. Then I'm going to pop over to Instagram for half an hour. So
Share the
we
wealth.
plan on being around for an hour, but we might be splitting our time just so we can catch as many people as we can. At
Good
this
afternoon
point.
to both of you. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, hello.
You found us.
Do you want to just slightly angle that over my way just for a second so I can see what's in frame and what's not?
Okay.
Give it that. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I just didn't want you to see my dry hands.
I should put that on my knees. My knees get dry.
Usually I'm really dry in the winter, so I'm in a weird in-between area right now. Alright, I've got my Disney character encyclopedia, my Pixar one. I have my two little journals that I've been working in, figuring out everything I want to do for Virtual Voyage 4. One of the most fun parts about that is that I do a lot of it in here, then by the time I actually come to do the course, I change so much of it. So I'm not actually kind of... In the past, I wouldn't show you any of this until the course was over, but I'm actually not afraid to flip through some of this because most likely there will only be a few things in here that will be relevant to the course at this point. So that's nice. This is my folder that has all the information I have right now. Things like this you can already see. This is the welcome. I print out, what's it called? Like a physical copy of what the course looks like online, just so I can keep track of information.
You essentially print out the blog pages.
Yeah.
Got it.
But they're all made as infographics in Photoshop anyway, so I just print them from there. But this has information in here so I can share it with you if I need to. Things like live stream dates and details, stuff like that. So I do have a lot of my info here today. I've become a little bit more prepared, just so if you have any questions about Virtual Voyage 4, the Lamplight Cruise, you can ask and we'd be happy to answer those questions for you.
Brooke Rose says, "Hi, James." Beth says, "Hi."
Hi,
Beth. Beth, I was actually thinking about you today, random. And then I thought, I haven't gone on a live stream in a long time, so thank you. Postal Orphan says, "Good afternoon," or says, "So excited for Virtual Voyage 4. Signed up
I'm
this
so
morning.
excited.
VVIV.
It's actually a little bit confusing to me because it doesn't feel like I've launched it. I don't know why. It feels like it's coming. Probably because it's not starting until the 14th, but usually I have like so much more hype on today. But I think I was just so overly prepared that for me it's been ready for a while.
Hi, Shauna. Beth says, "My husband is in the OC right now for work. Well, tell him to come over."
He's probably like 10 feet away.
I know.
You know, we live close to his work. Oh, there goes my pencil case. Oh no!
What happened?
My whole
Everything-
setup's falling off.
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna have to have sunlight. Sorry, it is what it is, Santa.
It is what it is, Santa. Victory, hi! Brooke Rose, I posted on the Gathering board, Philadelphia Orchestra is playing Toy Story July. It's so perfect they show the film and play the score live. I know, those are so
amazing.
fun.
They do that at the Hollywood Bowl too. You saw Coco?
I saw Coco live. They actually did it. What you know, if you have Disney Plus, they actually filmed it for Disney Plus. the
Oh,
Coco
yeah,
live,
yeah.
And I got to see that in person, which was incredible.
But they played the movie alongside it? Or that was just a concert?
No, they don't show the movie in the Coco Live, but yes, when you go sit there, you are watching the movie happen. So all of the songs,
No, that's what I meant. Yeah.
are happening live in front of you.
Sure.
Beth says he works with Providence Health. Well,
Yeah, it's
we literally
literally-
live right next to Providence.
Stop doxing us, Steve. Yeah, we do live close. Beth knows that. I'm looking
Sorry,
for
hi James Hubby, hi.
some characters.
I don't know if it's on my end or yours, but the picture is coming in buzzy.
It might be your internet connection.
Sometimes I see it too. It does look a little fuzzy, but it might be the connection of this.
Yeah, so on lives, because it's not a pre-uploaded video, it will stream at whatever resolution I can get it to stream at best. So sometimes it might be fuzzy from my end, but if it's good from my end, sometimes also your internet provider will stream it at a recommended rate that won't eat up all your data or your bandwidth or whatever. So it could be one of two things, and honestly, there's not much to know except if the chat verifies if some people have clear images, some people don't, then it might be on your end. But if everyone has blurry images, it's definitely me, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do about it right now. Hopefully it's not.
Can't wait for VVIV. We'll have to schedule fake meetings on my calendar so I can attend the sessions during work. We won't tell anybody.
It's okay, they are all recorded live, but I do know it's better to be there. Ducky and Bunny.
What are we doing?
I can't believe this one has the ones from Toy Story 4. That seems too recent.
Do her.
Gabby Gabby.
Gabby Gabby.
She's skilly. Let's do Gabby Gabby. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to explain to you about Virtual Voyage 4, and if you were in VV3, you will have noticed that we actually of course there's theming, like out the wazoo, but there was also a bit of a direction with what we were learning. And I know I've mentioned this before, but just in case you've missed it, Virtual Voyage 4 has a focus on style. Virtual Voyage 3 it was more of a focus on feminine fashion faces and fashion forms, or figures. And then this one is more about styles. So looking at artist styles, pulling them apart, figuring them out, interpreting them, referencing them, being inspired by them, literally learning what we can about style. For whatever reason, some people use that to develop their own, other people just do it because it's interesting and fun, and some people just, like me, like to overanalyze a lot of things. And I've described it before as kind of like, it's like the art version of forensic investigation, where you're looking at something and you're pulling apart all of its components and you're seeing how someone did something and then kind of reconstructing the series of events that took them to that. And then also looking for patterns, looking for things that repeat themselves and figuring all that out. So I actually have 4 different artists that we're going to use for the different weeks. So for Inside Out, and I'll show you a little bit of a preview. Inside Out, we're doing Sir Quentin Blake, who is famous for doing the illustrations for Roald Dahl novels, and it is such a fun, loose, kind of wild and interpretive and like very exciting way to go about doing that. So these are just some of my sketches, my practices. I'm not going to linger too long because I don't want you to figure everything out. So anyway, that's for Inside Out, and I'm very excited. I'm going to probably do this at the start. I'm actually unsure. I'll let you guys know. But I'm unsure if I'm going to give everyone the style files breakdowns for all the artists up front or just the ones that we're looking at. A part of me wants to give you all of them, just in case when we're doing Inside Out, you might want to be inspired by assets from a different artist. I'm personally not going to teach it that way because I think it'd be too confusing to mesh them all together, but I do know some people would probably challenge themselves to do it, so I'm assuming I'm probably going to give you all the style files up front. So there are 4 of them, and they basically just break down the style and then reinterpret it through the lens of, kind of think of if this artist were doing concept art for the movie. So if Quentin Blake was doing the concept art for Inside Out, if Runa Naito was doing the concept art for Monsters Inc. Now this one I actually changed. I was doing Yoshitomo Nara, and it just got a little scary. It was not scary, it was kind of cute scary. Maybe this is more of a Halloween thing, but you can see I did a version of Boo as Yoshitomo Nara style.
I couldn't describe it.
He gave it a sound.
I couldn't describe it in words, so I gave it a sound. I was like, it looks like,
Yeah. Because we struggled with Tim Burton because Steve was just like, it's all a little creepy, don't you think? And I said, yeah, of course, but I don't so much love the creepiness of it. I love the playfulness, the childlike attitude, the approach, all that kind of stuff. But Steve was just saying, no, like, the results of this are a little... I don't know how to explain that to people, that I had to avert doing Yoshitomo Nara just for that. But anyway, we've got Runa Naito, who actually is a much better fit because he is credited for having kind of established the kawaii culture in Japan and is it was very influential in what we now identify as like lots of cute whimsical illustrations. So
Which is super perfect.
which
I
is
think.
wonderful, and this was some of the art that I did in my studies, finding that and reflecting that, and it's just some of the most cute little versions of Monsters Inc. So Monsters Inc. does have a Runa Naito kind of retro Japanese, retro kawaii feel, which I really enjoy. We also have Coco. I know I shared this. Coco originally was Picasso. We were going to go a little bit further back in time and do a classical study, but once I was exploring a lot of it, it just seemed overwhelming. And not from the point of view of teaching. I actually found it would probably be a bit of an easier one to teach than the one I ended up choosing. But for results, like I'm always kind of trying to think of what the results are going to be for the lessons and what you're actually going to get out of the course. I mean, I don't think it was a friendly way to say like, hey, come and enjoy the course, you're going to learn Picasso.
Yeah.
It was a little strong of an ask, but a lot of the stuff I explored, one of the ones I actually loved, but again I also thought was probably a little too difficult for the difficulty level I was setting, was Norman Rockwell. That was one that I explored, and I actually really loved this little Miguel here. So
He's so cute.
essentially for Coco we actually chose Claire Keane, who is Glenn Keane's daughter, and Glenn Keane is famous for creating some of the most wonderful Disney characters in the world, including Steve's personal favorite,
Ariel.
Eddie Edu. So Claire Keane did a lot of the concept art and is actually a Viz Dev artist for Disney, and so she did a lot for Tangled and what's it called, Frozen, and so I've been interpreting her work through the lens of Coco, and it actually lent itself really well. So I'm excited to go through that.
Glenn Keane also drew the Beast. He like took his shoe off to draw his own feet to know how to do the transition.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The animation.
The animation.
So good. So Claire Keane is who we're going to be looking at. I love that my note, Claire Keane, Dad is Glenn Keane. Very important info. We'll look at that. Her own work, I mean, the fantastic thing about a couple of these artists is they have their own websites and they actually talk about their own processes. So I think I'm going to go and have to try and link some of those in the course. But she had listed some of her inspirations are Matisse, Rembrandt, Gustav Klimt, Laurent Saint. Yeah, so she had a lot of classical influences, which is wild because a lot of her work in this simplistic form looks very folk art, but there are some beautiful pastel works that she does that are so romantic, but also very kind of Disney-esque and very animated.
The studios, the Walt Disney Studios have the recreation of Rapunzel's room.
Yeah.
Like,
she was the one that
the
painted all of that.
The murals. She actually went into the studio and painted that. She recreated her own work on the walls of the Walt Disney Studios.
So good. So anyway, that's what we're looking at for Coco. Very excited for that. And then one that I have been obsessed with for years, and should be no surprise to anybody, Mary Blair. We love a bit of Mary Blair. I've done Mary Blair for Toy Story. If you're in Collage Club, you'll actually see a bunch of this as a part of your downloads this month. I put a lot of these in the set. I think all these 3 are in there. This is Bonnie from Toy Story 3. She's so cute. Reminds me of my sister because my sister's nickname is Bonnie growing up. Did this the other day, was literally crying. Anyway, so I've been literally for the past few months have been engrossed and absorbed in other people's styles. So if you've been watching my personal work, not that this is much different to normal, but you probably would have seen I have just been all over the shop, changing styles every 5 seconds. And I think I tricked a few people thinking that we were doing a Japanese themed cruise because I kept going. That was literally because I switched from Yoshitomo Nara to, oh goodness, I can't roll my R's as well as I need to say Rune Naito.
Rune?
No, it's not that much.
Kate, the Skate Studio. Hey everyone, happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. Hello, welcome.
So, and that was just, that was stuff that
This is fun. I like all these lines, grid lines that you drew.
Little blueprint.
Yeah.
So this is a part of my explorations. I've done a bunch of these explorations with you guys on YouTube already. You saw some of these. At the time I didn't explain this, but this had that Mary Blair influence. A lot of what I was doing here was actually still exploring different things, but yeah, I was really trying to get into the feeling of the different artists.
I really thought the theme would be Cruella, the whole thing.
The whole thing, just different Cruellas. I loved it, by the way.
Yeah, it was great.
This had that very Mary Blair feeling. That's why we did that. Oh yeah, here are lots of the style files. Anyway, so we're going to do a bit of play. Steve wants me to do Gabby Gabby, and I haven't done her, so I mean maybe I should just pull out the style file sheet and challenge myself live.
Well, do you want to do somebody else?
Well, I don't really want to do one I've done, I guess.
Do you want to do a style file, or do you want to do something
believe in
completely
myself.
different? Like, do you want to just like do a fashion illustration Cruella?
I'm definitely going to have enough of an opportunity to do lots of Mary Blair Toy Stories. So what I think I might do is actually take one of the other artist's styles and interpret it that way.
Do the kawaii one.
You think I should do the
Yeah,
Runa
why not?
Naito one?
Yeah, because it lends itself to that.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Runa Naito. I can use this. Actually, in Collage Club, I did a whole bunch of stationary gals. The Runa Naito one is mostly, my style file sheet is mostly the animals that he did because that lent themselves better to the monsters.
Animals. Well, can you do a derivative of this?
Yeah, no, I have one of the dolls there.
Oh, okay.
Here's these things called Runa Girls. I also have the books. I can figure it out, but I've done it before because I just did all of those. You know, those illustrations for Collage Club with the girls as like scissors and washi tape and stuff. So I do know what the girls look like rather than the animals.
Brooke says, so thankful you included that colorful spirit Dante in Collage Club.
Oh, so fun, right?
Spirit guide.
Yeah, Alibri.
Somebody said, oh, Postal Orphan watched Inside Out and Coco for the first time this weekend. Amazing movies, both of them. They are amazing.
Yeah.
Very different, but really good.
I mean, the theming, when you really think about it, of some of these Pixar films is so adult. Like, honestly, I don't... the earliest Pixar film I saw was Toy Story, right? And I saw that when I was kind of a kid, but a lot of the Pixar films I've enjoyed as a teen or an adult, but they haven't lost any of their appeal to me.
Do you think it's too adult for children?
Sometimes, some of the themes, but I don't think it's so obvious that the children would be even questioning it. I think it just skims above their understanding. So I don't think they engage with those themes. Like in Inside Out, some of the things, like as a kid, how would they understand the abstraction and like
abstract thought,
yeah,
and
stream of
membrane,
consciousness,
yeah.
and like all this kind of stuff. Those are all very cerebral, literally. Ideas. Okay, so Runa Naito has this very large forehead style, like extremely large.
You love that though, don't you?
Big kawaii eyes. Yeah, I do love that actually. I love the big foreheads and the big ears. Big foreheads were also very like 40s and 50s.
Definitely, like the Cupid dolls.
Yeah, I love Cupid dolls, so it makes sense.
It's a little blurry, but excited to see where this goes. Beth says, is kawaii the same thing like Shopkins? Kawaii means...
it means cute in Japanese.
Cute in Japanese. So it's
anything that has that really like...
So like Sanrio, you know, like Hello Kitty, that's kawaii.
Yeah, very kitschy, kind of ultra cute.
Round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big eyes, twinkles, kira kira sparkle.
Like even Harajuku girls would be considered the Lolitas that's part of kawaii culture.
Right. Yeah, it's an expression of the adorable. And as someone that has enjoyed a few years in Japan, I have such an affinity for anything kawaii culture. I mean, this is
Kawaii.
Kawaii, ne?
Super kawaii. Heather says, okay, I couldn't get a clear picture
This
of my
is
phone, but
kawaii.
now that I switched to my iPad, the picture is clear. Oh, that's good.
It might just be the connection, because sometimes it, like if you're on your data plan, I know that it like automatically live streams lower for some people.
Beth says, on YouTube I can hear your pencil on the paper. I love it.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
Well, we were just saying before, but we're actually going to switch over, I think, after half an hour to Instagram Live.
That's
so,
in 10 minutes.
well, we're not going to do that then. Steve suggested that I try and catch people on both ends.
Victor, we have 63 people here. You have a lot of people in here, so I would say just keep it here.
Okay, well, you're all here now then.
Victor says, I switched to my laptop and now it's clear too. I guess it doesn't like phones.
We just can't win, can we? Like, every live stream platform is doing something different. I saw on Facebook Live recently they've started doing this like send stars to people, which I guess you have to buy and send.
That's like remember when Facebook first started and it was like, send somebody a cake, pay $1 to send them a cake.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember like all that stuff, and it had nothing.
Oh, I really wanted people to send me that stuff.
People would send me, or like, there's today's a free day. Send a balloon on a free day.
And they'd have little collections.
Right.
And there'd suddenly be like a new collection in there being like, oh, it's Pride Month, like send someone this sticker.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
It was a way for Facebook to make some money, and people did.
Okay, so there is a pretty classic Runa Naito face. Maybe just a little few lashes.
Betsy says, "Hi James, hi Steve. I secured my ticket for the cruise. So excited!
Yeah, can't wait to sail with you."
Teresa says, "Will this be saved? Will this be saved?"
Yes, I'll probably say, unless pending something doesn't go wrong, I don't lose my mind, something bad doesn't happen. I do intend to save any savable live streams and put them on my blog. So Runa Naito has the big bangs up on that big head.
What's very funny is connecting the pieces between seeing Instagram Live, their like all of everyone's names on Instagram Live, and then you see their
YouTube names.
Their handles on YouTube.
Yeah, are they the same?
Some, but then also knowing what the Etsy order is.
Steve.
The Etsy order name is.
That is so funny. I can't make all those connections. I decided long ago that I just wouldn't be able to memorize everybody, so I would let whatever name sink in, and then everyone else I just had to apologize to.
And then Teresa often leaves nice comments on my Instagram for my work.
I'll see,
so
that's why.
That's the other part.
I think if you want the in with the moderator, you have to apparently compliment him on social media.
You have to come follow me and comment.
What a bribe.
And then I know who you are. Brittany says, "I'm so excited for the virtual voyage, but afraid I won't get to do enough because ... work."
Yes, look, everything will be filmed. Make as many lives as you can. It doesn't matter if you can't. You can work through anything at your own pace. But we do like to make sure that stuff is not like super heavy time consuming. There are obviously going to be some things that are like that, but for the most, you should have a good opportunity to get through a bunch. Especially with this course, I've kept it a lot more playful than I feel like I've done any of the ones in the past.
Yeah, I would say for the Red Curtain Cruise, that one was pretty involved.
That one was a lot. Yeah, do not compare this one to that one. That one was a lot. She looks really cute. Maybe I enjoy Gabby Gabby.
I told you.
As Runa Naito.
Victory, that's why my handle is my name. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember my own handle on different platforms.
Oh, if someone asked me to re-identify myself with my password, it's over. Say goodbye to that website.
Yeah.
Get a new profile. And I'm pretty sure my Facebook is linked to my old email address. So
the sandwich one?
Do not go there. Do not go there.
Nikki,
I will call you out too.
That's fine, the dud.
Dud.
Nikki. Hello. Brittany says, "I'm hoping the time difference will help me. LOL." For joining the lives.
Well, we have a 2 p.m. live and a 7 p.m. live. Those are already listed in the updates and announcements. There's a full schedule of what parties come when. Weekends are 2 p.m. and then
midweek.
The live on the leader decks are 7 p.m.
And that's
we never
Pacific
actually
Standard.
Used to give out that time.
It would just be
we used to just do it
hop
live.
On and...
Yeah, but then we found that it's really not the tea to make people guess.
Correct.
Who would have thought you guys wanted to know when we were going to do live streams?
They miss out.
This is definitely working. I just feel like I'm spending too long on it.
Why? What do you mean?
Because I'm really enjoying how she looks, so I'm giving it
She's
attention
cute.
and time.
Heather says, "Your drawing is looking so stinking cute." Isn't it though? He's doing such a good job.
I tell you what, there's something to be said for absolutely abandoning your own head and diving into other artists' brains. I feel like it was less of a problem if I failed, because I felt like I was failing at someone else's job rather than failing at my own brain.
Oh, it's less pressure is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was weird. I felt like all I had to do was commit myself to learning all of the repetitive kind of motifs, learning the style, how to draw. Like, specifically, I think the thing that changed the most were proportions, of course, but eyes. The way that people did their eyes, their ears, their nose, and their mouths would just, it didn't really matter at the end of the day. I felt like bodies were pretty consistent, but if I could just pinpoint how they did their eyes, ears, nose, and mouth, and some of those details or quirks they had, you could apply it to pretty much anything, and it looked like the artist had done it.
That's crazy.
But then there are some things that were like very hard to figure out. Like Mary Blair is one that is very hard to figure out because it looks so simple. It's just not as simple to do.
Right. Betsy says it's because you've been doing the page in 10 that this feels so long. It's fantastically paced. Oh yeah, you're welcome for that idea.
Okay, I'm not going to say this, but I did batch film a bunch of them, and there are some that like stressed me out. And I got to the point where I was like, why am I doing this? This was supposed to be like an enjoyable, slow, relaxed thing, but you know, I get really challengey sometimes. So there's a good mix. I actually think there's a good mix for people who want to like do a lot and do a bunch, and then there's some where it's literally just leaves.
I did it today with the dishes and cleaning up the common area.
Yeah, do you guys know that it was because of Steve, right?
You're welcome. Thanks. Brooke Rose says, I have to say I'm excited for my first 4-week VV. I'm a bit nervous I'll fall behind, but I'm going to give it my best.
Yeah, we'll talk about all that stuff in the opening because we've done 1 4-week before, and I think people are a lot more used to the 2-week.
The 2-week is quick.
The 2-week actually feels incredibly quick.
Yeah.
The 4-week will feel, I anticipate it'll feel like there's a lull about like week 3.
The beginning of week 3.
The beginning of week 3. And usually people start to teeter off at that point, which is going to be terrible because it's Coco and Steve will be very upset.
Yes, please stay through at least week 3, everyone. Please come to the 3rd week. The 3rd week art party,
Steve will feel like it's a personal vendetta against you.
I will, actually.
No, but I was shocked. It was only at the start of week 3 because last time it was avant-garde. It was a more ambiguous week, and so I anticipated that no one who really cared about fashion or anything would want to do it. This is not where it needs to be. And people actually found this like random steam from nowhere and plowed through that.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last week flew by. So yeah, I don't think it's as bad as you think it is. And I would encourage people to like just leave things that aren't the most enjoyable for them. You don't have to do absolutely everything as we do it.
I'm gonna catch you up on the chat. Brooke says,
like, you know what, this needs to be those legs. I think these cuter legs.
Yes. Nikki Dot says breathing space for week 3, which is true. Betsy says, welcome aboard, Brooke, it's so fun. Brooke says, I could never miss Coco. And then Pam says, I will be all over the Coco part. And Shauna says, we will stay around for Coco. Thank you. And then Ruby, I'm beyond excited. That's 4 weeks. Linda says, that's just James's perception. We just hit our stride.
Yeah, right. No, truly it is. My anticipation is usually a little off, so.
And then A Quest to Art says,
I don't like those legs either.
They look like My Little Pony legs.
Yeah.
A Quest to Art says, OMG, you're live on YouTube. Shock, will you save the live to the channel? That is the plan, pending nothing crazy happens.
I actually do save lives. There's a playlist of my live stream replays here, but I save them and put them on my blog. I don't like them on my main channel because I just, for some reason, didn't do that.
I think you're gonna have to make up your own legs here.
No, I think I'll just do one of these legs. It's just hard because she's a young character, so they can't be as long. But I'm just tempted to do that because I like the look. You know when you're doing your photography and you keep doing that contrast light?
Yeah.
And you know it's wrong for what you're trying to do, but
Correct.
you keep doing it because you like it. I keep doing
that. Victory. Clever to put Coco then. It will keep people engaged because Coco. Exactly.
Thanks for believing that I was that calculated when I did it.
I was. I told him he should do it on week 3. No. I don't know why we landed on that. I think it was to give people enough time to warm up.
I think I chose it because of the artists. I wanted to end on Mary Blair, so it had to be Toy Story, because that's what I wanted to do that one for. Monsters, Inc. just fit with this the best. And I wanted to start with Quentin Blake because it was the easiest.
So there it is.
So it would have been either way.
We have almost all of our preparations for things.
Our photo shoots?
Yes.
Goodness, we struggled. We finally settled on something, and we did a good job, I think.
I think.
My goodness, it was such a struggle.
Linda, thank you, James and Steve, because we love that we don't miss it. School is crazy and so glad we get to see you.
For sure.
Thanks, Linda. Heather, James, you just said that you put certain videos on your main channel. Wait, you have more than one channel?
No, I put them on my blog. So in the description, my website will be listed, and there's a blog section. It's called Journal. I know, super confusing, but it's called Journal. There's a blog, and there are all kinds of like blog posts about. There's literally a virtual voyage blog post in there. It's super fun to look at, and there's lots of old Instagram live tutorials on there from the past year. But those videos are also available in a playlist. So if you go to my playlists, there's one that's like all JLB creative videos, which has hundreds and hundreds of videos in it from when I started my channel. And then there's another playlist called tutorials. Those are all tutorial based videos that I've done. There's another one that's called, I think it's called live replays or Instagram live replays. I put the YouTube ones in there too. So you can just watch them on YouTube. I just put them on my blog because it gives me a chance to upload photos of whatever I do, and you get a closer look at that, and it was easier for me to link products if I needed to.
Beth Brown.
Have it all in the same place.
Hot. Beth, you're so good. You've grown so much.
Oh yeah, you're gonna kill the.
Beth is so bold now.
Kill the Mary Blair one, and it was so fun to
Yeah,
have
Beth,
Mary do Mindy's illustrative flair course as well, because I was already studying it so much,
Right.
and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I get to do it for everyone now.
I love Beth. Beth, she goes shush. No, I'm serious. Your Peter Pan stuff that you posted is incredible.
Oh, I
So
love it.
good. Teresa says, is there a specific Art of Disney book that would be good to have?
So I have the art of the movies, right? So like all of the different ones, the concept art they did for each movie. I have the Inside Out, Monsters Inc., Coco, and Toy Story. They were pretty expensive to find and hard to source. The only one I've been recommending people get is this one, the Character Encyclopedia, the Disney Pixar one.
What
and
year is that, though?
this is pretty new because it's got Toy Story 4 in it.
Does it have Coco?
Yeah, it's got Coco in it.
Okay.
It's a little small on Coco. I guess they hate it. It's literally just a few pages.
You got these dinosaurs in there, but you have 3 pages,
I know.
4 pages of Coco.
Giving me all that.
They always do that. It's same with the
And
merchandise.
it's right at the end too.
Same with the merchandise.
I thought it would be alphabetical, I don't know why. They've got all these people.
Who are they? Oh.
Apparently they've got names, John and Mary.
Yeah, they say their names.
Oh. They've got Cockroach, a whole page for Cockroach.
No.
Steve's so mad. And random bots.
I'm furious. I'm calling DJ
Truly.
books.
Truly, they don't. They never really cared to merchandise Coco that well. I've always been annoyed about that because it was the one thing I thought, like, once Steve loved this, I can buy him presents for Coco forever. And they would never make any new merchandise. And I was like, why? People were desperate to buy so much Coco stuff when it came out.
And I think for whatever reason they assumed, this is only going to appeal to one group of people. It's just like, maybe the Latino community is really
Gabby
gonna. They're the ones who are really gonna like it. So we don't really need too much, which I don't know why they would even think that. But I remember being at the park a while ago, and there's like a little redheaded boy, a little ginger boy with his family, and he was going around the little kiosk where the Coco merchandise was, and the mom was like, Billy, what's wrong? And he said, this is it? This is all the Coco stuff? He's like, where's the rest of it? He was very upset.
Well, originally they had like next to nothing.
Nothing.
They had added more stuff since then, but even then it's still not a lot. You had to kind of go to like Box Lunch to find
or
some
even
of the
Hot
extra
Topic
stuff.
or get some of that
Yeah.
other stuff. Nikki says, I'm in Mindy's class now, but I've had not time to do any. Victory. Sorry, I just fell down the stairs, but falling with style. Yeah, that's it. Actually, quote from one of my teenage boys just now. They make me laugh. I hope you're okay.
Oh my goodness, please be careful.
Pam says, I know I tried so hard to hunt for Coco merchandise and was so hard to find.
Right?
She said you might find it better on Etsy.
You know what was, we actually had people send us some things that they had made, like prints and stuff, which is
Yeah.
really nice. You know what was funny? When we went to go and see the movie, Steve had seen it like 600 times before I went and saw it with him.
Yeah.
And we went to the movies, and I think they were doing, like you said, like maybe they didn't anticipate it to do as well as they did, but they were showing
The Frozen.
Frozen like right beforehand, that like 20-minute Frozen mini
Olaf's,
movie.
the Olaf's little snowy adventure.
Yeah, which
thing.
I'm gonna say I actually liked it. I thought it was cute.
I
But it
watch
was
it all the time.
so funny to me because everything Frozen was so hyped on hyped. But then when it started, the entire theater was like, "Oi!"
They were so mad.
I thought it was so funny.
Because you're so excited to watch Coco, right?
You've got your popcorn,
and
you're
everybody's
ready.
there, and the theater is full of Latinos,
Literally
full. And the first thing you hear is dun 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 dun, like the Frozen orchestra, and literally everybody's like, "I."
Oh, it was so
And
good.
what is it? This little kid. You just hear this little kid go, "We want Coco."
Mind you, they were probably all there on their second, third viewings as well.
Which eventually, and the studios, like, you know, people were pretty vocal about how they felt like, why are you trying to push Frozen when everybody's coming to watch Coco? That they ended up pulling that Frozen short 2 weeks after it was released because they realized, oh, people don't really want to see Frozen, they want to see Coco.
So good.
So funny.
I thought that was great.
Let me say, Postal Orphan says, why didn't they include the spirit animals in that book? What a shame. I know.
The Yellow Beehives? I know. Well, we have the Art of Coco. Guess how many copies we have? A hint, more than one.
Well, one
For
was
some reason.
One was a gift from James for me, which I love, and then the other one was a
Oh, that was the one they gave you when you went to
Yeah.
the thing. Steve was actually lucky enough to go and perform some Coco at Pixar headquarters, so he's going to give us all the inside scoop.
put me on the spot.
I was so jealous. Seething. He came back with a sticker, so it was at least somewhat redeeming. But yeah, I thought it was so cool.
It was really cool. It was just such an awesome once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Right?
Yeah, so the second book was gifted by Pixar themselves.
And I literally... First of all, I was really happy because you know what Steve's like when I get my books out and start splashing paint around? I thought this is fantastic because he will always prefer this one. And I don't care that I gave him the other one. I thought the other one is now mine. That I can splash paint on.
Can you tell which one's which?
Yeah, the one's got a card in it.
Oh yeah, right.
Because I almost picked that one up. I was like, I should check.
And,
Before I get paint on the one that's like signed and dedicated.
right. Linda says Brave is my background and it's the same, not much merchandise. That's true.
Totally.
Beth, I went to Box Lunch just today.
You know, Brave I'm not super familiar with.
Victory says he's fine, he just at peace with his teenage clumsiness. Erica, glad I caught this. Went to Instagram my Juliet pop-up and saw you were live.
Yes, we are just going to be on here until about 6. We're answering questions about Virtual Voyage 4, so if you have any, let us know. Otherwise, we'll just kind of keep chatting.
Teresa says, is that your fancy watercolor paint? The green leaf and blueberry.
No, this is actually called Hungry for Paint. And this is I think it's a mix of 2 sets, but the one that I love is the Vintage Illustration set. They're just the most gorgeous colors. I used these to paint the kind of the same looking girls from my collage club that were all the stationary girls, and they make the most incredible deep skin tones.
Yeah, they're really muted.
Like, I've had troubles with a lot of watercolors because a lot of the browns tend to be mineral pigments, and even though I think this has a bit of mineral pigment in there, the browns, because they're so granulating and so earthy, don't tend to mix beautiful, like, deep skin tones that aren't super patchy and pigmented and granulating. But this set does such a good job of it.
It looks really, like, smooth. It's like matte and, like,
it's kind of matte.
Yeah. Heather, yes, Brave is my favorite. Erica says, I just got the Art of Pixar book for Mother's Day, so excited to whip that out for inspo.
Oh,
Yes.
so good. Good Mother's Day present.
That actually looks more like, what's the gouache?
Gouache, yeah, it is a little opaque. It shears out really wonderfully, but I'm using it a little thicker and pastier.
I like that. I like how pasty that looks.
Yeah, the paper I'm actually using is not watercolor paper either. It's pastel paper, so it tends to be a little rougher, I've noticed. I got this because Sir Quentin Blake did everyone a fabulous service on his website and actually listed the paper and the pens and the supplies that he uses to create his work. So
Is he still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
That was really helpful for me to be able to do that. So I actually got some of the paper that he uses just to see if it made a difference. And I will say the rougher texture did make it scratchier. So I understand why his pictures look the way they do now. Super rough paper.
Erica says, are we playing with gouache for VVIV? I want to get better at it. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, I'll probably do that in Toy Story.
Says also,
Mary Blair.
Erica also says, also I noticed that a lot of the color scripts are done in pastel and gouache. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's because a lot of it's easier to start with a toned paper, and those are two opaque mediums that layer well. so it's easier to create any color story from a tone paper rather than start from white.
Linda's asking who the other artists are.
So we have, for Inside Out, we have Sir Quentin Blake, famous for doing all the Roald Dahl illustrations. For Monsters Inc., we have Runa Naito, which is this style here, the kind of ultra retro kawaii aesthetic. I actually did... No, I didn't. I did that with Nara. We have Claire Keane for Coco. And then we have Mary Blair for Toy Story.
Erica, I'm in awe of the skill in these color scripts with pastel.
Aren't they amazing?
They're like quick sketch, get out.
I almost want to get pastels, but I really don't want to challenge myself to do anything new. That sounds terrible. No, well, I don't want to teach anything I don't really understand, and I don't know pastels at all. I tried a pastel. It's in here. And I thought it was really pretty. These are pastel pencils, and then just regular pencils. But I see how timid I am. It's kind of dark. I reckon I could get confidence, but they're super messy as well.
Victory, I got Arteza gouache for Mother's Day. I would love to learn more about how to use it. I need to go back in your archive and rewatch your gouache videos.
Yeah, they're fiddly.
It's water, right?
Yeah, the ratio is kind of fiddly. The ratio of water to gouache.
Eric says, "Oh, Victory, that's good gouache."
I have a lot of different sets now. There's something that I've started using more often, so I got some in my Art Snacks box. The Royal Talons, that's actually nice quality. I love the white. I use that to flesh out a lot of my colors. I use the poster color paints, the Studio Ghibli ones. These ones, the Nicker poster color paints. I have a 36 set of those. The Turner acryl gouache, those are really nice, but they're acrylic gouache, so it's kind of just like really fancy acrylic paint.
That feels like that's sticky.
No, that's not sticky. And I use the Holbein acrylic gouache as well. These are what I would consider like a really like staple student standard. But they're kind of like the Turner.
Erica, I've not mastered the water paint ratio. I hear a lot that it should be like melted ice cream, but mine is always too thin. Beth says, pastels drive me insane. I love hard pastels, but dang if they don't make a mess and rub off on everything.
I know, I'm worried about the mess because you know I'm messy, even with clean supplies.
Erica, I want those paints too, because Studio Ghibli
yeah, Ghibli
is life, and then I want those.
Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? It's weird because GH is not a Japanese sound, so I don't really know how to interpret that.
Shidanai.
Shidanai.
Linda, I love how you are using gouache on the page in 10.
Oh yeah, so that is actually just a really simple way for me to use it as like a coloring tool. So rather than using pencils or watercolor or anything, I just use my water brush and like go into my dry pan here. I do find that actually the ceramic plate reconstitutes it better than in the plastic. I don't know what it is. I know that neither are porous, but there must be something about it sitting on ceramic that just works better. I'm not quite sure, but I had much better luck using the gouache from that dried than using it from my plastic palette. Also, those gouaches are different. The ones I have in my plastic palette are a big set of the Arteza, and I do like them. I actually thought they were really great value. I would recommend those to anyone starting.
Heather, Hobby Lobby had a sale on their paint sets last week. I bought a 12 color gouache set. I figured if I liked it, I could buy a larger set at the next sale.
Totally. I think it's important to start kind of small with that stuff, because we get tempted to buy the whole thing.
That's science.
The thing about Arteza is that it is actually private labeled.
So you can probably buy it other place.
Technically, I think they've kind of soloed in on that contract with them, because I found their manufacturer, the company that was making the paints, and they have a super humongous minimum order quantity.
Not Detective James.
I can find you anything. I can tell you exactly who's private labeling what, and let me tell you, it's not all art supplies. Some people are out here doing the most. But yeah, I saw it, and they're nice. I really like them. But my point with that being is just because Arteza is a budget-friendly brand for the most part, it depends on where you get them from, because Amazon can surge price you. But also, if they tend to do a product that is really popular and works really well, nothing wrong with this, but they do tend to bump the prices up for those particular products. And then when they intro new products, they tend to be really cheap. So you get this mixed messaging between if it's a cheap brand or a student grade or an artist grade. I don't particularly believe any of those things are artist grade. That's my own opinion. I could be completely wrong. They just don't tend to work the same way as some of the artist grade stuff I've used. But they are great when they are budget friendly. But don't be tricked into thinking that they're a budget brand, because some things are worth the price and some things you're getting a little ripped off on. So I would just say be a little discerning. If you find that the Arteza is comparable in price at the moment to the Holbein or the Turner acrylic gouache, I would go with those because they are vetted as like much higher quality. But if you're finding the Arteza on a good deal, grab that because it's worth that. I hope that didn't sound harsh.
Beth says Arteza is what I primarily use. I also love Himi.
Oh, the jelly gouache? I've never used those ones. How long do they stay wet for? I love this yellow. It's like the most mustard yellow.
Lilo.
Yellow.
Pam, are you going to be using a lot of different papers or supplies in this virtual voyage?
No, nothing you haven't really seen me use before.
Erica, I have the Himi jelly gouache because I can't resist the packaging. They stay wet a while, but you can re-jelly them with water.
Oh yeah, they look so cute in their little tubs. I like watching the YouTubers struggle to peel the tubs open.
That's really opaque.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how opaque it is.
I don't find many of these colors particularly staining, so it's pretty good to build everything up. But yeah, I like it. It's because it's a beautiful watercolor, but if you do want it a little more opaque, you can kind of fake a gouache out of it.
Beth says it depends. If you seal them up quite a while, I re-wet and stir them with toothpicks. Brooke says the Turner acrylic gouache is a really good price at Jerry's Artorama. I highly recommend. I think it's around $2.50 a tube.
That's where I got mine from, and mine was on sale, so it was even cheaper than I expected. Yeah, I would recommend that too.
Victoria Nichols. I like watching the YouTubers struggle on a t-shirt. Teresa says,
Did I just out myself?
Yeah. Teresa, I love this color story. Such a vintage vibe. Totally.
Yeah, these paints were sent to me, and just by a lovely follower who was making them and said, would you like to try some? And I was like, well, you know, I never say no. But she didn't ask me to review them or anything or even do anything, but just enjoy them. And I've just loved this set. The other ones are really fantastic too. They're all great quality, but this particular set she'd put together, I went on the website and I don't think there is a set that's all of these together. I think they're two sets together. But the ones that I identified as the colors that I really loved were a set called Vintage Illustration, which is funny that you said that because that's exactly what I thought.
Well, she is also a vintage doll.
Correct, Steve. And this is also a retro Japanese kind of style.
So it's like
it's just everything, the layers, the meaning.
Beth says, and Himi refills come in Lido pouches like Capri Suns, but don't drink them.
Oh, really? That's funny. All right, this is Gabby Gabby. This song, I've used this in so many videos. If you don't know, we have a playlist playing because it's YouTube. I finessed the system by making a playlist that is all my royalty-free music, so I can play that as like a radio playlist. So I don't get flagged for copyright.
You wouldn't go over this with a pen or?
I think you could. You would want it to dry first. You would do that if there was anything you wanted to tighten up, neaten up, like if some of the details got lost, or you wanted to make it a little bit more neat and presentable.
I'm just standing a little bit. I'm standing so I can close my rings.
Oh. I thought there was something going wrong.
No, everything's fine. I'm like 1 hour away, and then I can finish.
Is it because you're worried that they're going to see that you didn't close your rings?
Yes.
This peer pressure. This Apple Watch peer pressure, I cannot deal with it.
Keeps me accountable.
The last thing I need is someone else in this planet monitoring what I'm doing for exercise. I get more exercise turning over in my sleep at night.
All of them. I closed all of them right now.
Yeah, you opened the vortex.
I've reached all 3 goals.
I'm gonna put this heat tool on. Sorry if it's a little loud. Oh, we've got about 10 minutes left. Steve's giving me my Jupin my days. I almost said that to you earlier. When it was 5 minutes, I was going to say 5 minutes, please. 5 minutes, please. Yeah, so if you wanted to go over it because you thought, this could be a little bolder, or even if you like to put your shadows in or add a little extra texture, I'm going to put some pencil in the yellow where the shadows might be for the yellow fabric.
So you're really like a multimedia-ing it out.
Multimedia, that's a new version.
Multimedia.
Mixed media.
Mixed media-ing it out.
I'm journal girling it. Stella, for the longest time, used to say I was a journal booker.
Yeah.
And it just goes through my head all the time. Especially when you just said that. I was like, I'm journal booking.
Yes, Bianca? Just talking.
Yeah, that was weird. What do you need, B? Oh. Fantastic. What are you doing?
My name is Bianca and I got something to say. Heather says, I like James's version better. Oh, yeah, James's version of Gabby Gabby looks cute versus the movie version too creepy.
She had some issues.
Yes, abandonment issues.
My aunt still has, little ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, those are freaky.
And yeah, his name is Tommy Talker.
Nope.
And I, for the longest, just didn't like him. And my brother used to like get him and like trying to act him out in front of me.
Nope.
And she didn't use it as a ventriloquist dummy. I don't even know why she had it. But he used to go everywhere.
Nope.
I don't think my sister likes it either.
No.
I've come to grow fond of it because it represents my auntie, but yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of ventriloquism.
Says, the Caffeinated Creative says, those dolls are really creepy. And Victory says, yikes, I heard journal hooker.
Steve! Now we can't upload the stream, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Steve's lost himself. No, I'll upload it, but I am going to apologize for Steve saying that. We like to keep it family friendly here. He's just not been around for a long time.
I know I'm rusty. I'm sorry. Beth says, love the gold yellow. I want to wear yellow, but my skin is not right for it. It makes me look ill.
Oh, I say the same thing. Yellow and orange. In fact, but I did just get a Wizard of Oz shirt
It looks
that
good.
is fully yellow. It's a really dark yellow. That actually
mustard.
suits me a bit better. But yeah, no, I can't wear yellow. I also don't like to say yellow because a lot of Australians say yellow like yellow, and it really annoys me. And I think I say it like that sometimes. So I want to avoid it at all costs. I shan't be judged the way I judge others.
That's fun, the depth that you're putting in it. Victory says, sorry, Steve. It's all good.
Yeah, it's Victory's fault.
Sasha, she's so cute.
Thank you. I think she looks cute.
Victory says, I love yellow too, but yellow doesn't love me. I love yellow.
The colors I think I look good in are... I like light blue, and then red, like strong red. That's what I think I look good in. There's probably subjective opinions floating around about that. Don't know what my color really is.
I'm trying to think.
Steve, you look good in yellow.
Yeah, I don't look good in orange though, like a bright orange.
I don't look good in pink. I like pink,
Pink,
but
I look good in pink.
it's too close to my skin tone. I look nude.
The only colors that I really don't like are like the neons. Those don't really work with me. Maybe neon yellow would be fine, but neon orange or like a bright orange, no. I'll pass on that.
Hard pass.
Yeah, because then I just look like autumn.
Autumn Grace.
You know what I mean? I just look
McKay's
like the fall.
Lillian. I've been watching this lady on TikTok doing toddlers and tiaras skits,
stunning.
and she's so good. It's so believable too. It's like outrageous, but that is exactly what is the most believable.
Victor says, oh good, it wasn't just me, Beth. I'm best in black, olive green, and turquoise.
Turquoise. Yeah, those are nice colors.
Eric says, the toddlers and tiaras lady.
McKay's Lillian.
So funny.
I gave her a whole bunch of coffee and $200 cash. She sparkled.
Linda says, watching the Hemi openings remind me of when Emily Blunt opens her pudding in Devil Wears. Yes, thanks for
That is so specific, but I'm 100% certain of what that is.
Yeah, says P.S. Thanks for the how to make a journal tutorial in VVIV.
Oh, for sure.
Erica, I love her. Brooke, yellow is the happiest color. Teresa, I just buy 10 of the same black shirt. Erica, what do I need to do to get you to practice this routine? I'll take you to Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, that's quoting the YouTube, the lady.
Totally. How much do you love pageants? One, she's being crazy.
Confident, creative. I love yellow too, but so few look good in it.
People, I know people have a lot to say about toddlers and tiaras, but best believe I would have put my daughter in pageants, and none of you could have said anything to change my mind.
That you were going to put your daughter in pageants?
Oh, and I'd be doing their hair and makeup, lashes for days,
Oh
talent for years.
I was shooting a wedding the other day, and I was taking the bridesmaids out. I was like, "All right, ladies, you got your lashes and lips on." they all like
let it not be wasted.
they actually got a little shocked. They got a little like, and they all double checked, and I mean their faces were completely done, of course. But they all had to double check in the mirror, and I just started laughing at them. Like, thank God you told us. Lashes and lips. Let's go.
It's such a showgirl thing. It's such a, like, I mean, you can't help it. That I was, every Eisteddfod I went to, every competition I went to as a kid, like, the girls were in more makeup I've seen some drag queens wear.
You know, everybody has an opinion on this, right? But
my idea of subtle is just so off.
You know, I also just did a shoot with a client recently, and the model did their own hair and makeup. This was for a production company, or like a company that I work for.
Mm-hmm.
And the model came in doing their own makeup. And the makeup looked really pretty, except they didn't do anything to their eyes. No eyeliner, no mascara, no lashes.
And you look at them like, do you know you've done that?
Right. But that was the choice. That's just how they felt that they looked really nice. And
yeah, like, I didn't think that was optional.
Right, and for me, I was like, something's missing here.
Yeah, it's unfinished.
Right.
But that people do that as a look.
Yeah. Just everything else, including lips, just zero eye makeup. That was hard for me.
Is it a trying time for you?
Victor says, my closet has green, peacock, turquoise, brown, white, and a tiny bit of purple. That's it. After 40 years, I finally learned to limit my palette to what looks right on me. It's quite a limit. Fairy tale scrapbook. Hello.
Yeah, but Victor, you have good hair color to wear colors that might not be flattering to your skin tone, because
true.
I think hair color can save a bit of it. I've got Mars brown. Mars brown, so it's not like I'm really saving a lot with my hair. But you can get away with the Princess Fiona Emerald Green.
So good. Beth, black is boss, people. My closet is 90% neutrals and a ton of graphic tees because everything matches. Same girl. Same.
Do you guys really consider that? I don't think I've ever really considered like buying a piece of clothing that actually matched my closet. I always just get what I like, and then if I don't have anything else that goes with it, I have to buy something to go with it.
James wears 100% mismatch patterns.
Oh, I think people know that.
Always.
Prints on pins on pins.
Yes. That's
problematic patterns.
Andrea says, yeah, I caught this live. Beth, let the bag and shoes do the talking. This is true. The Jersey Creator says hi with a little rainbow emoji.
Victory. The bag and the shoes. I'll make sure I put on my best heels next time we go out in my mismatch patterns.
Victory, my idea of subtle is just so off. Okay, I really, really want that t-shirt. Fairy tale. Ooh. Andrea says that her closet consists of mostly pink, red, and aqua, and it's all either vintage inspired.
Oh, that's lovely. I like the vintage look.
Yeah, Beth says, Coco Chanel said, before you leave, look in the mirror and take one thing off. Words to live by.
She didn't say it to me.
I didn't hear her say
that. I know her. Who's her?
Oh, Coffee Native Creative. Yeah, my journal is where my color love shows. My clothes not as much.
Totally. Look, I have always loved fashion, but I think people have mistaken that to mean that I love fashion on myself. I loved women's fashion. I also did not love to wear women's fashion. I have an appreciation for the garments that women dress themselves in. That is my fantasy, having loved Barbies my whole life. Why would I don't want to be the Barbie.
I would want to maybe wear a caftan in Palm Springs.
Oh, well, of course.
Like I would be
That's
that.
not a problem.
With some really big sunglasses and live like a Halston moment.
Well, I would want to wear a caftan more extravagant than my mum's,
Yes.
just to show her out at the pool.
And she wouldn't be able to handle
And
it.
she'd be so upset. She'd get a bigger caftan.
Yeah.
I used to make my mum caftans. If you don't know this, side note, used to love sewing, wanted to be a fashion designer. But for Christmas or like special occasions, I would make my mum from scratch a caftan. I would hand beat it as well. And I actually didn't know she liked them as much as she did. And so one year I stopped and she was devastated that she didn't have like a new caftan. I didn't realize because I was working overseas at the time, so I didn't really know to the extent of what she was wearing them. I thought she wore them once or twice when she went on cruise ships. I didn't realize that my mother had turned up to like work events, functions, family picnics, and funerals in these caftans, and they like were part of her signature look.
You're like, sorry.
Just so she could tell people it was specially made for her. I don't even know if she liked it. She just liked the fact that it was made for her.
Yeah, but that's what makes it special, right?
Yeah.
Victor says, nope, I look like a corpse in the wrong colors. Black and red are my nemesis. Teresa says, James, you have fabulous hair. Victory, mismatched patterns are life. Andrea, I only always buy whatever I love. Jersey Creative, LOL. She didn't say it to me. She's laughing at what.
Well, I actually need to. Here's the funny thing, I don't have too much of a problem with my weight, other than like gaining a lot of weight just means you're a little bit more restricted with what I can do. Having been a dancer, I can say I guess I feel it a lot restricting. But one of the main motivators for weight for me is to lose weight is so that I can wear the clothes that I want to wear. Because I did not realize that once you get past a certain size, they don't make any clothes. The same set of clothes you can get as a medium to a large, you can't get as an extra large to a double XL.
Right.
And even further than that, they actually skew everything off. So it was really confusing to me once I gained a lot of weight and I moved out of my size class. I was like, where are all the options? Where are the jackets?
Victory says, I'm wanting to see the same shading blushing on her legs. Heather says, gotta go. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Have a great rest of the week. Bye, Heather.
Bye.
Val says, hello. Andrea, you can pick out an outfit
blushing.
for me if you like James. I love your taste, so I wouldn't mind. Beth says,
Oh, I wouldn't trust me. You'd be wearing something
you wouldn't trust
outrageous.
Trust. Beth says, I don't love to shop for clothes. I get a Stitch Fix every other month. I like to shop for shoes, bags, and art supplies, and makeup, weirdly. I love that.
I used to be a big shoe person, remember?
I
had tons of shoes,
I love
crazy
everything.
shoes. I used to have these shoes
I have
that
too
looked
many
like
clothes.
cartoons.
I have too many clothes that I don't wear.
Steve's a collector.
Brooke, I'm obsessive and need my closet to be in color order, so I'll buy clothes in all the colors because of the way it looks like a rainbow in the closet, but don't let that fool you. I'm usually all black everything. That's funny.
It's a display closet.
That's so funny.
Well, I like all your interesting takes on wardrobe and aesthetic presentation. It's nice to know that we have a diverse understanding and appreciation for that.
I always tend to go classic silhouettes and styles. Always.
Look, you may not love fashion, but the reality is every single person has considered what putting this certain clothing on their body would do, as far as like what they might be perceived like or what it might look like on them. So even if you don't love fashion, everyone has a bit of a style they'd like to reflect.
Right.
And I always find that funny in people who don't consider themselves fashionistas, because sometimes it's more of a subconscious process than you think. And we were actually having a talk the other day about gendered clothing, just in a discussion about little boys wearing dresses, like when my gran had made me my Dorothy dress, and like what it actually meant, and if it was, why some people feel the need to stop that from happening, or what you were just having a fully fledged, like, let's just explore the whole topic conversation.
Yeah.
I thought it was just really interesting that, like, I mean, even that, people can have such negative reactions to clothing, considering, like, when you really just put it on the table, it's a piece of fabric. It's a piece of cloth.
It's color. It's a color.
It's a colored piece of cloth with some threads in it. Like, it's all just, it's super random to me. But it all represents something, I guess. Anyway, here is Yo Gabby Gabby. No,
She's really
that's
cute.
not what it is.
No.
I was thinking Yo Gabba
Gabba
Gabba.
I was just like, I'm
Is
gonna
that
let him
what they
have
did
it.
it off of?
Maybe, I don't
Surely not.
know. Jersey creative. My son is 11. He likes to wear bracelets, and I have no issue, but some get weird about it. I'm like, it's so silly to get odd about it.
Steve just got like 1,000 bracelets from Amazon the other day for part of a costume that I was like, that is so unnecessary. But are we proven wrong? Hopefully.
Yeah, no, I'm fashion. I like it. Beth, our son asked me to paint his nails, so I did, and he loved it for exactly 2 days. I think that's kind of it.
Look, I would think I'd look so fun with colored nails. I hate the feeling of it on my nails.
Do you remember?
I pick it off.
Do you remember a year ago I colored my nails?
Oh,
Remember?
we were having polls on what color you should do it.
And I did that slate gray.
You even got like a matte top coat.
Yep, because I didn't like how shiny it was.
Steve was a mess trying to figure that out.
So funny.
I painted the matte top coat on just to see what it looked like, and I scratched it off immediately. I hated it. I hate it feels like my nails can't breathe.
It does feel a little suffocating. Teresa, you should make some paper dolls. Jersey Creative, exactly when my son wanted to paint his nails, we did. So what? Victoria, I don't want to see a stranger's jiggly bits, but other than that, I have to start reading.
Victory's going on block. And it's not Victory's fault. Victory's allowed to say what she wants to say.
I have to
freedom of speech, Steve. I
have to pre-read it before before I read it out loud.
Steve's on text to speech at this
Oh
point.
my
He's just
goodness.
serying it up. Anything
Sorry,
you write,
YouTube.
he will repeat.
Sorry, YouTube.
Record your answering machine messages today, because Steve will just read it out.
The caffeinated. I love my nails done for exactly 2 days too. Beth, washy nails. Yes.
Okay, don't check my TikTok because I'm doing all of this soon. I actually have I wrote it down. I'm funny enough to have a note section in my phone.
Yes.
That I just never go back to, but I literally have one in there that says long nail stationery sketch. And so I was thinking of doing a thing. It's really hard to film TikToks of yourself because it's so difficult.
But you have to ask Stella. That's the thing. You at least.
Well, this is washi. I'm just seeing if it works, because if it works, this might be funny. But like to say new washi available, but this maybe I want to do it with paper, so it's a bit more robust. But I often wonder like how people open things up and they're like,
Stop it. Ew.
definitely gonna do it for TikTok. Someone take my TikTok away from me.
Victory, Steve, I just got some nail art plates and I was doing my nails. I was totally thinking I wanted to do yours too. Let's do next time we see each other.
Are they the ones you scrape across the thing?
Yeah, Andrea, I suck at doing my nails and they never laugh, so I never bother.
Look at y'all taking the art beyond your journals and onto your body.
Brooke was like, I was cringing and screaming at you through the phone, Steve. Don't read Victory's out loud. Pam says they use their knuckles. This is true. Victory. Steve will say whatever I write. Victory's my favorite. Victory's my favorite. Victory's my favorite.
Victory means I win.
I win. Beth, remember I did it and put on a top coat?
I just want to let anyone who was at that live stream.
Oh yeah, you did.
Know.
That's right. You did put. Beth did do washi nails, and she put a clear top coat over it.
Oh,
I remember that.
that's so fun.
Linda, it's really hard. It really is that hard, James.
Yeah, I imagine so. I want to do a no, I completely forgot what I just said. Oh, I was going to say, whoever was at that live stream the other day, I just want you to know I opened up my journal looking for something, and I came across the Yait Nimafine and like had a full-on panic attack, hysterical breakdown, crying, laughing. It was so funny. So thank you for that endless laugh. This is Gabby Gabby. This is done in the style of Rune Naito, or Isao Naito, and I'm very happy with that. I'll give you a quick sneak peek at the style files for him. See, a lot of the style files is about animals for Monsters Inc., but still very excited.
Thanks for scanning them.
I did, I know. I'll show you this because Steve's like, this is Steve to a T. This was one of the style files for Coco, and I scanned it at each stage because I knew he'd be upset if I ruined it.
Because currently all we have is the one with him, the skeleton face.
Yeah, but now I have them all. So anyway, those are my Virtual Voyage little star files for a couple of them. Ask me any more questions before I go, because I don't know when the next time I'll be on here talking about this stuff is. So if you have any VV4, VVIB, the Lamplight Cruise questions, let me know.
Linda, Gabby Gabby's a takeoff of the doll Chatty Cathy. That's correct.
Oh, Chatty Cathy. Is that who she is?
Yeah. Talon says Gabby Gabby is so quiche.
She's so quiche. I wonder if they would do like. Do you maybe what if they did a Cabbage Patch doll?
You think?
What about that Kath and Kim episode where she gets all the cabbages? She's like, it's like a Cabbage Patch doll. Just a play on words. Stupid. I'll put Gabby actually here. I do have to take a photo, so I'll just take my photo quickly from my blog.
Jersey says, I'm so glad to catch you live. I really enjoy you and your art. Thank you for your YouTube videos.
Thank you.
Teresa says it looks great.
Appreciate that.
How long are the live beats? Are they via Zoom? They are via Zoom, and they
2
typically
hours.
run about 2 hours. Typically, we try to keep them within exactly 2 hours. Sometimes, if there are a lot of people who like to do show and tell, we dismiss people, and whoever wants to stay to watch the show and tell, that sticks around for another 15 to 20 minutes.
That's correct.
Christine. Hi, Christine. She goes, will this one be recorded? I came in so late. This YouTube.
Yes, I'm going to put it on my blog. So you can either find it in the live replay playlist I have on my YouTube channel once it's finished, or you can go and visit on the blog, and I'll upload some photos of this so you can get a better look. Actually, I'll do a little close-up too. I like to put it on my blog just so I can put the photos, because some people like to, even if I'm not teaching, some people like to just do it as a tutorial, and I want you to have a better look at what you're working with, just in case you want to do that.
Jersey says, I went to the place where the Cabbage Patch dolls are born. It's a little wild in Georgia. How funny.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Just B says, thanks so much, beautiful work as always.
Thank you.
Christine says, oh, thank you.
For sure.
Khalia Loves Max says, I want to take one of your classes, but Zoom will be another app I want to avoid.
Well, unfortunately, that is the best way we can host our live streams. So if you were just avoiding it for the live aspect, you would have to watch all of those as replays, and then you don't have to join the live session. I don't have a problem with people doing that. I always just make sure I mention it is more exciting to be a part of the live stream, but I understand that some people don't enjoy it as much. But with this course, there's an itinerary for you available as a preview on the sales page. So if you just go to the Virtual Voyage 4, like the sign up page, if you go all the way down the bottom, there's a preview of the welcome and the itinerary. If you check that itinerary, you'll see a lot of things. In fact, I've got it here. You'll see a lot of things mentioned like Sea Day or cruise activities. So this is what it'll look like. You'll see this. The cruise activities, those are video tutorials that are pre-filmed. So, and those are typically in 3 sections. I like to start off a little easier, then we move on to something a little bit more involved, and then at the end it's kind of like if you want to go for gold and just do all the tutorials together. So those are usually like 3 separate pre-filmed video sets. So there's a cruise activities for each one of these. So at the very least, if you didn't attend any of the live streams, you would have 3, 6, 9, 12 video tutorials to learn from. That's not to say that there aren't other things to learn. Poolside activities are activities that you print and you complete. Sea Day is content just to kind of watch, so that's not super tutorial based. Port Treasures are downloads. Theme Night Live, those are live on Leadex Live. Yeah, so I would say you would probably be expecting to get a lot. If you were not going to engage even with the live replays, you wouldn't be getting, I wouldn't even say maybe half of the tutorial content involved in Virtual Voyage. So if you were joining to learn, I would probably just pick a different course that didn't have live components. The Whimsical Illustration course is a bit more robust and it doesn't have any live components. It's all self-study and it's all pre-filmed.
So you're saying if you are unable to join the live course, I mean, the replay does come back up though. So
yeah, but if you just didn't want to join, and that's right, you don't have to watch the replay on Zoom. The Zoom replay will be in there, but I don't like people to equate like a pre-filmed tutorial with Zoom,
right.
Just because there's a lot more editing I can do with a pre-filmed tutorial. There's also a different quality difference because I can take out any dead time. I can refilm things if I need to. In a live aspect, even if we have like a little technical glitch, that can add, 5-10 minutes to the stream that might be frustrating for people. When you're in the experience live, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but watching it back, it can be quite annoying sometimes. That's how I personally feel about it. If that doesn't bother people, then I say to each their own. But I just want you to make sure you're making the decision. If you wanted to learn everything you could learn, a lot of that happens in live streams. So if you're not happy to watch them as replays, then I would avoid it. But if you are happy to watch them as replays, they're all there for you as well.
Yeah, and plus you also get all the downloads and everything else.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of other content,
CDs,
but I just wanted to make sure you knew where all the tutorial stuff was, because that's where you learn.
We have, I'm going to go back up. Do you have a Patreon?
No, I did Patreon twice as experiences for delivering content and learning about like subscription box type stuff, tutorials type mixing with entertainment content. But ultimately those Patreon experiences built what is now Virtual Voyage.
Correct.
All of those skills and those trials and errors I had on Patreon built this. And I the reason I don't do Patreon is because, and I'm not saying I would never do it again, but I don't really want to set myself up for anything recurring on a long-term basis. It just leaves me with really limited options in how I can grow and expand my business and my content offerings. And I think just a lot of that, having done it for 2 and 3 months at a time before, I noticed that to be competitive in the space that I'm in, as far as art journaling, mixed media, art tutorial-based content, stuff like that, to be competitive is offering a lot of content, and you get burnt out pretty quickly. And I've noticed that even a lot of people that I've seen make that transition as well have disappeared from public spaces or find it incredibly difficult to keep a public profile with their content. And I really, a part of my mission statement is to always have content that is accessible. So it really means a lot to me to be able to do live streams like this, to be able to teach tutorials, do my A Page in 10 series. I really enjoy being able to give for free in the ways that I can.
Sure.
And that really takes a blow when you're committed to Patreon, because you do have to respect the financial investment of people who are paying for your content. And I found that, I mean, when you set it up, you honestly think like, yeah, I can handle that. But you know, you just have a few off days, and then you realize one video is backing up into the next video, and you've got to pre-film 5 of them, and it's a lot. So some people have been doing that for years, and I honestly don't know how they manage.
I don't know if I would like to do something like that, but
Just
I think
seems
everyone's
like a lot.
different. We have another Jody. Hi, Jody. She says, "How many costumes for the theme nights am I going to need?"
Well, we're doing one at each theme night live, and we have the themes here. I would say, like, I mean,
4.
just the themes of the movies, so 4. We're not getting dressed up for the live on the Lido decks, just because the 2 of us have to both get dressed up. So if there's 4 costumes, it's actually 8 for us, and then if we did it for the live on the Lido decks, 16 is too much.
Oh, it would be 60. Oh, yeah.
Because there's 4 of the live on the Lido decks. So we have the Bing Bong Bash, Bing Bang Bong. That's a theme night live. So you can, I would suggest maybe like Bing Bong party style. It's Laughter We're After, theme night live. I'm just saying go monsters, but if you want to be meta, maybe 90s female comedian. This is very stand up. The Sunrise Spectacular, which is the,
Coco.
how would you say that? It's the Ernesto's big
It's
performance.
Ernesto de la Cruz's big performance on Day of the Dead.
Yeah, so
Just come in theme. Day
come
of
in
the Dead.
theme. It's Day of the Dead, or
It's the
you
Land of
could
the
come
Dead, yeah.
as, I love the lady, what's her name?
The hostess.
The big blue hair
Yeah,
with the
pink-
lashes.
Yeah.
Skeleton theme, pretty cool.
I mean, it's like it's Day of the Dead, or it's
Or
or
Alegría.
Mexican, or Alegría, or Hispanic.
So, or just come as a big marigold.
That's
And then the last one is You're a Toy. And that is Toy Story. So come as your favorite toy. Or just anything Toy Story.
I think Victory's left us. Boys are howling for food, so I missed away. Now Steve can read the comments out loud.
No worries.
And then we're asking, where do we find this?
This is this
it's
is
all on Teachable,
on
yeah,
Teachable, yeah.
I'm looking. Sorry.
If you go to my Instagram, there's a link tree there. Everything's always linked in there. I just say that's easier because I know a lot of people just switch over
Yeah,
to
you
Instagram.
go to Teachable to Jersey. That's right. So go to Teachable to find Virtual Voyage.
It's on Teachable. I will also link it in the description of this video once we post it.
Brooke says, can't wait to see costumes and opening numbers. Andrea, oh, this is my chance to do a Frida Kahlo bound. Definitely.
Oh, funny, yeah.
Linda says we can be the Burke Army.
And
Don't
this
give
is
him
also
that much
me.
power.
I'm coming as the Frida Cactus.
This is also me. And fire. It's exciting. It is exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I like how playful it all is. We probably won't share any more than that about what we have planned. I will just let you know that, because some people have asked, is it only these themes? You know what I'm like. I will choose the themes and I will work to those themes, but I encourage you to put any of your own spin on it, right? So Toy Story, we have Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and 4, and there are also Pixar shorts that we have available to watch. There's also a new Monsters Inc. TV show coming out soon called Monsters at Work. So we have Monsters Inc., Monsters University. There's literally so many different areas and avenues to pull from. Even if you didn't want to do Toy Story, you could change it. You can choose to take the lessons and the techniques that we learn and apply it to WALL-E. We actually did that. I mean, one instance here, remember how I said we're doing different artists? We're actually doing Mary Blair for Toy Story. But with the information I learn about Runa Naito, I have applied it to this. So if that's why I think I want to give you guys the full style files breakdown beforehand, so that you can chop and choose between them. Because I think it's more fun, if you're up for the challenge, to bounce between styles. But for the purpose of actually teaching you well, I'm going to stick to one artist per thing. But that's not to say that you also can't apply that knowledge to other areas. And we did this on a live stream, which I think I taught this one, and it's available on my replays as well. This was concept art from the Monsters Inc., the Art of Monsters Inc., and this has a very Mary Blair feel to it. It wasn't actually Mary Blair that did it, but this very much fits in theme with Mary Blair's style and aesthetic. And I think we even did one here, where we took what we learnt from this and we applied it to WALL-E. So that's something that I'll be teaching as far as style, and that's why I wanted to teach it, because I want to show you how to extract the information from someone's style and how to apply it, so that no matter what you're doing, your theme could be the Toy Story aliens, or it could be Jessie, or it could be Sully from Monsters Inc. You can apply the style to it, and you're not going to feel stuck doing that. So yeah, I wanted to mention that just so that you didn't feel like, I know some people just don't really enjoy Coco, right, Steve?
If you don't enjoy it, I don't want to hear it.
No, no one's told me they haven't, but some people might not know Toy Story well, but they might love Up. So if we're doing Mary Blair and we're looking at those skills, and I'm teaching you how to texture a background, how to layer simple shapes on top, you can take that information, apply it to an Up version of what we're doing. And I was just going to say that live on the Lido deck, we'll do little mini detours to places. That's all I'll say. Because these are great themes, but you have me pressed if you think I don't like WALL-E, and I don't want to do WALL-E.
Right. Even Lava or
So,
Mermaid Melissa. Hello, James. Thanks for being inspirational. I love to listen to your banter and videos while I'm working on my own things.
well, thank you.
And then Andrea talks about doing how she just did a Monsters Inc. sketch flicks and Onward sketch flicks. Good for you. And Mermaid Melissa says fighting words about me saying about Coco. And then Jersey Creative says, "Wow, I'm over looking at this site. I've never seen Coco. Sorry, Steve." Well, you have 2 weeks. And then Sarah says, "Do you mind me asking, but how many people do you usually get for the Virtual Voyage live aspects?" About anywhere from
I would say anywhere from 80 to 100.
I was gonna say 80 to 100.
Yeah, we have a bunch of people that fall into a very difficult time zone. That's why we choose 7 p.m.s for live on the Lido deck and 2 p.m.s for theme nights. They just work the best we can make them work. I know it still doesn't accommodate for everybody, but those are the times that we just keep set.
And what I like about it is that I would say probably about 75% of people who join into the live stream will keep their videos off and enjoy. and about 20 to 25% will keep the video on.
Yeah, we don't have rules about that. We just like you to enjoy it. If you like to enjoy it as a fly on the wall, we're not going to force you to turn your video on. But some people get dressed up like we do and like to get involved that way, take screenshots for their journals.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's all happening in your art journal, and I think one of the most exciting experiences is that, especially over the past year, this has been a way for us to connect as community.
Yeah.
And so we like to document that experience as well. And so it may not seem like a lot just to throw a funny hat on and get into a live stream, but it's actually it's really enjoyable.
And that's really you know, that's, I think that even that is enough.
Right, yeah. So I think if you want to get involved, you get involved in as much as you want to. Or if you want to be a fly on the wall, you do that too. I'm half and half. I go on some live streams in other spaces, and I keep my camera off because I look like a troll that day. Or some days I get dressed up and I want to be involved and, you know, get in the chat. But so I know what it's like to want to be both.
What I like though about it is that even the people who we don't see their faces in the Zoom call, in the live party, what I like is that they will then tag, or they will hashtag Virtual Voyage, and they on Instagram, and so we get to see the work that they did during the class.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's the one thing I would probably encourage people to do, is if you're not going to have your camera on, that's not a problem at all, but I just encourage people to share, because it's really fun for 80 to 100 people at one time doing the same lesson, and then you see tons of different results and versions.
It's really
and
cool.
People at different levels experiencing different, you know, moments of resolve and moments of difficulty and overcoming that, and people really do like to share that, and I think that's a really special part of why it's important to share. But I think that also comes from the individual, and some people have taken 1 to 2 live workshops, and on the third one decided to start getting involved. So I say take it at your own pace.
Yeah, Sarah says, that's amazing. I'm very excited to join for my first VV, but yes, kind of shy, so I wasn't sure if being a fly would be accepted or weird. Good to know it's A-okay.
Oh, we have a term. We always had this term for, because whenever YouTuber figures out who they're going to call their people.
Yeah.
So we came up with Burkmates, but we've had just as many Lurkmates.
Yeah.
Who were like, fly on the wall, you'll never catch me, but I'm always around.
But we love it.
And I love it, because I am very much that way too.
Janelle says, oh, this is another Virtual Voyage. Yeah, we're prepping for Virtual Voyage 4.
4, can you believe?
Comes out on the 14th. But, I mean, honestly, like, there's one of our biggest things that we always say is that everyone is welcome. Everyone has a place at this table. And it doesn't matter even what level art where you at, or if you feel like you're, well, I'm not that good. We welcome, you're welcome here, because it doesn't matter what level you're at, because there's still something to learn and something to do. And James is a great teacher. And I don't say that because I'm here trying to, because he's my husband, but just because
that's why you say it.
But because he is actually an excellent teacher.
Well, one of my favorite stories was that, and this is why I can personally vet the story as like something that I take pride in, is that my mom has never been involved in like arts and crafts trust. She would look at what I do, but I think she just thought, this is great. He spends majority of his time doing this. Good, go and be occupied. Obviously I needed a lot of attention as a child. So she's never really been into it. She's never really had that. My gran was who I shared a lot of my artistic expression with, and especially in dance as well. She was kind of like my dance mum as well. But my mum was just always, I guess, busy, working and doing her life, making sure everything was going well. So it's funny when she got older and my sister had her baby, and when she became a grandmother to everyone, and I saw her take over as a part of like she's the new gran of the family. It was interesting to see her start to adopt all those things that I did with gran, like all the coloring in and all the drawing and all the dressing up and getting involved in everything that my gran would do. She started doing that with my nephew a lot. And so my mum started attending the virtual voyages, mostly out of curiosity, because she just wanted to see how it was going.
She has FOMO, that's
She has
why.
stage 20 FOMO. She's the most clinical case of not wanting to miss out. So she would join, and I only ever expected that she was in there just to watch. And I thought she'd been there for 5 seconds, because I swear she's got ADHD as well. And she was in there a lot, and then she started participating, and I didn't realize this, but she had set up her own table. She had bought special watercolor paper. She bought more expensive paints than I had.
Yeah.
And was literally sitting there doing the art alongside, and I had never known this. She started sharing it with me, and I was completely floored. And it got to the point where we were doing in Virtual Voyage 1, when we were doing Fathoms Below, the mermaids, she had drawn a mermaid from start to finish with like anatomical proportions.
Right.
It was wild to me. So
But
yeah, I
also-
mean, I didn't even know my own mother was in there doing that. So you're fine to be a fly on the wall, but I do love the fact that people want to get involved. I just say, from my own experience and from knowing how people have responded and what people get up to, you will make of it exactly what you want to make of it. It's easy for the whole thing to fly by and for people to have done nothing. It's easy for the whole thing to fly by and for people to be wanting more. And it really is up to what you want from the experience. So I don't want to delude anyone into thinking that you'll have the same experience missing out on all the live streams. I don't think you will. I think you want to at least try and make a few, because the experience is different.
It's
So
also, and to kind of to add to this, I think if there's still some hesitation on your end as to kind of your skill level, I mean, we have families, we have moms with their kids join in the live streams as well, and the kids do the lessons with us.
the kids are usually the best at it.
I mean, Elijah,
really sad.
our
Yeah.
nephew came in and was doing a lesson with us,
Elijah
so-
was fully doing it. Well, he did the Merry Mix Media one too, the free one. That was fun. You can always start with a Merry Mix Media. I specifically, last year, I made Merry Mix Media 2020 a small mini version of what Virtual Voyage looks like. So if you want to go and see what the live stream looks like anyway, like a live replay of a tutorial, I know it's Christmas themed, hopefully you can get past that, but just go and register for that course, because you can see, it's free, you can see exactly what it looks like inside, to do some of the lessons, to be a part of the live stream. Yeah, that's a really good way to do it. And I specifically did it so that I could show people what Virtual Voyage looked like inside. And I've also made a blog post on my blog fully explaining the whole thing. Is there a coupon code discount this time for returning students? Yes, I already sent it out. It should be with you in your email if you didn't opt out of receiving email notifications. If not, just send me an email. My email will be in the description box below, but it's James Luke Burke, Burke, at msn.com. I know, don't say anything. Just send me an email, and just in the subject header, just put return student coupon. And I will just literally just copy and paste that and send it back to you. Because it should be already in there. Sometimes they bounce. Sometimes people have opted out of notifications and they don't know. Sometimes it's in junk mail. But I always just say it's easier just to email me a quick email that says return student coupon. And it's to the value of $30. So it's a nice little coupon.
Pam says, "Yep, I'm a Burkmate as I got to take your classes in person and a Lurkmate in all your online courses." That's true, Pam.
Yes,
Pam, I haven't seen your face in 2 years.
Yeah, but I would still recognize you.
Yes.
You're so funny. You are one of the first students we ever met.
That's true.
Bumped into you at
At
Starbucks. I can't tell you how nervous I was. You wouldn't even believe it. I was like sitting in that Starbucks scripting out things to say like, "Hello, my name is James. Welcome to my course." Oh, that's a good memory.
So fun.
No, that seems like a long time ago.
Well, it was. It was a long time ago.
All right, well, if there's no more questions,
Yeah.
then I will just let this go and upload this. Yeah, and I'll see you around. If people have more questions, I'm sure I'll see them and I'll try and address them before anyone
Pam,
misses out on their answers.
I know, I will show my face. Yep, I was a squealing fangirl. So funny.
You're all good, Pam. All right, thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you for all your lovely questions.
Go watch the movies.
Yeah, get involved in the movies. I'm super excited for the new Monsters at Work series. Okay, my little disclaimer for Monsters Inc. I am obsessed with Monsters University, a little more so than Monsters Inc. The original. It's like one of the best sequels I've ever watched.
Well,
to
it's so
anything.
funny because James was like, is this, are American universities really like this with these hazes and for the fraternities? And I said, yes.
To me, all that's just fake Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, no, it's like
it's fully real.
People do that.
So, so yeah, I love Monsters University. I'd do that. Toy Story, my favorite Toy Story, I think, is 2.
Yes, with Jessie.
Yeah, I really love 2.
She loved me.
Don't. Loses it. Coco, there's only one Coco thing because of course.
This is one and only. And that's all it needs
They
to
won't
be.
do anything else. Inside Out, I think they have some shorts. But Inside Out is a great film to watch anyway. Super I keep saying super cerebral, but
Well,
that's
it
such a
is.
pun.
Well, it's about it, but it's about that. Too.
Yeah, I'm happy to start with this one because remember, this is a lot of what we learn is art technique, but it is an art journaling based course. So we work in journals, and a lot of it is about documenting a lot of your own personal experience. Inside Out, just watch that from the perspective of how you might journal some of that stuff, and I think you'll reveal that there is endless inspiration in that movie alone. So I'm really excited to work on some of that with you. In any case, I'll see you again soon. Thank you, Steve, for joining
everybody.
me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you, everyone, for commenting on the chat.
And I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.